Yo, what up, Chai here? Wow, I need to get used to that. As you can tell, the GameCube is my favorite console of all time. So many memories while playing this as a kid. Just looking at the satisfaction of an erection just brings back to my childhood. If only the GameCube just needs a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more finesse to the gameplay. Well, that helped. The Nintendo GameCube, the most unique Nintendo console of all time. One of the most underrated consoles of all time too. So many multiplayer games as far as reaching into the lifespan even today. So many varieties of games have enjoyed the friends and families in people's homes. You got your basic controller that came with the console, and this is the way that normal gamers play the games, but as time goes forward, the game companies would want to add new ways to enhance the gameplay so it could be more fun and enjoyable. That's where the different accessories comes in. Every game console has their own sort of an accessory, whether it expands to more platforms or just looking like a complete fool of yourself. The GameCube has pretty obscure accessories of its own, so we'll take a look at some of the GameCube accessories. Well, first you gotta start out with the original controller. This is one of the most comfortable controllers that I ever laid hands on. It's a pretty popular controller because it's well known in the Smash community. So popular that even Nintendo re-released the GameCube controller for Smash Bros. For Wii U and the Switch. For the later controllers that were released after the Wii era were updated by extending the controller twice as long as the older controllers. It's got a wide range of colors later on, having limited editions along the way, but sticking with the original colors is fine too. It even got so popular that it made fans make custom spray paints to make it their own special editions. Though it's really nice, but what happens if you want to go wireless? That's where the Wavebird controller comes in. Finally, you don't have to deal with the short controller cord anymore. This controller is able to connect using radio frequency. Just a good set of AA batteries will power the sucker up. All you have to do is just sync the number on the bottom of the controller with the receiver that connects to the controller port, turn it on from the front, and there you go. This was the go-to controller for everyone back in the day. You could play on the other side of the house if you really wanted to. Now the question is, how can you tell if the battery is running low? Well, if you look at the light, it will just start flickering occasionally, and that's the signal to change the batteries until it kicks the bucket. The only downside of this is that the Wavebird doesn't support any rumble due to it being occupied by the batteries. If you prefer this, then this is the controller for you. Now you have two controllers, but you keep restarting your game from the very beginning. So what do you need to do in order to save your game? The memory card. There are actually a couple variants. We got black, gray, and white. There's two memory cards ports right below the controller ports. The black is usually stored at 251 blocks of data. Then you have the gray and white ones, which has more space. I used to have a third-party memory card growing up and eventually got corrupted. I don't know why, but it just happened. I moved on to the black memory card until I needed more space, and I got the silver one. That silver card I bought was apparently corrupted too, so I got another one. Rest in peace, my old save data. Nowadays, modern game consoles already have built-in storage, so you don't have to deal with these cards that we had to use back in the day. It's kinda nice going back to these game files, reminiscing the good old times before everything changed with newer technology. Does the GameCube component cables count as an accessory? I guess so, since you can play the games in a better resolution. These here are the GameCube component cables. You see that there's another slot in the back of the GameCube full of emptiness and depression while consuming dust particles. We'll just connect right there and you don't have to worry about those slots anymore. This connects right beside the GameCube composite cables. You do gotta use both cables in order to use both audio from the composite and video from the component. Now you have a better image in your display. Today, it's really rare to find these because it's very The reason is like that is because the cables didn't do too well back in the day. It was being sold in the official Nintendo online store, but people didn't know about it and Nintendo didn't even advertise it as much as they should have done. The only way you know about this is because of the GameCube manual that came with the console. That's the only way of knowing these cables even existed. But there are better options out there and it's definitely worth getting it. This is basically the normal GameCube setup that normal gamers have in their household. Next, there's that one brother that's left down in the corner playing his Game Boy Advance. Enter the Game Boy player. Insert it into the bottom and bada bing bada boom, your GameCube is taller. Now just insert the Game Boy player disk drive and now you can play all the Game Boy games from the original Game Boy all the way to the Game Boy Advance on a bigger screen. It even has its own menu to personalize your own border. Of course you can use the GameCube controller to play, but you can even connect your Game Boy Advance as a controller if you have the GameCube to Game Boy Advance lane cable. It's better like this because it actually feels like you're playing on an actual Game Boy. Well, technically you are doing that at the moment. Speaking of that, while still on the Game Boy topic, there is a GameCube to Game Boy Advance link cable. It has the ability to link up the two consoles. This pretty much has a lot of functionality like using your Game Boy as a controller like The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords or unlocking some exclusive content in the games. For example, like Mario Golf Toadstool Tour and Advance Tour. If you have a certain amount of birdies in the game, then you can unlock Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi and Bowser in the Game Boy Advance game. And that's the only way to unlock them. Another expansion accessory is the Lan Adapter. With a couple games, the GameCube is able to connect to other GameCubes with the broadband link up. The games that were compatible with this was 1080 Avalanche, Kirby's Air Ride, Mario Kart Double Dash, and yep, that's it. Not a lot of options, but they do have the best games out of all of them. Just going through the Mario Kart manual and looking at this, it just looks cool as a kid. Just imagine playing 8-player Mario Kart Double Dash. Yep, I'm still wishing I could do that. Now those are the common accessories, but there are weirder ones though. As a former drummer myself, I have to talk about this first. The Donkey Kong Bongos was an accessory for the Donkey Kong rhythm game Donkey Konga. You got 2 sets of drums and the mic so you can slap the clap. Just plug it into the controller slots, put the game, and wow. This was when the rhythm genre era was coming to a rise. You got games like Rhythm Heaven, Guitar Hero, and Takeo Tatsujin starting to hit the market. I guess Nintendo wanted to have their own rhythm game, so they put Donkey Kong as the mascot since he has the conga beat and made the Donkey Konga series. The drums are usable, but there is a microphone so it can indicate the clap sounds. I mean, it registers it, but you can just snap or scream in front of the bongos. Playing the bongos to the music is actually pretty good. I could definitely feel the Donkey Kong jungle beat inside me. The other game that is compatible with this is Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Hit the left drum to go left, hit the right drum to go right, hit both to jump, and clap in midair for an aerial attack. And it's alright. When you reach the boss, it makes you hit rapidly on the drums. That's definitely not annoying as hell. The gameplay itself is pretty simple as it was intended to. You may still use a regular controller, but the controls are a little worse. I rather prefer playing on the bongos while playing this game. Let's get this out of the way. You're sitting in your chair and there's a certain game that requires you to enter a name or a code. I bet a Nintendo employee looked at the keyboard in a game controller and said, "Won't it just be easier to use a keyboard?" Yes. That's when the AC keyboard comes in, and even the name is pretty funky. When you look at it, yep, it's a keyboard in the middle of a GameCube controller. This hunk of an accessory does as advertised. Yep, just type. It takes up 2 whole controller ports. 2! That kind of reminds me of the NES Advantage where it took up 2 controller ports because you can switch from player 1 to player 2 and vice versa on one controller. While the AC one, the actual controller goes to port 1 and the keyboard one goes to port 4. This controller was only made for one game and one game only. Phantasy Star Online. Never played it, but I heard it was a good game. It's an RPG game that has a futuristic setting. But one thing I gotta say, what's even the point of this if it's only for one game? Is this even necessary? I mean, no, but it's a good collector item to have. And of course, it's very... Oh! I remember playing Mario Party minigames where it has to discover the mic minigames. So the GameCube has a microphone. You can talk into the mic and yep, it's a microphone. The only way I knew about this is that the mic was bundled up with Mario Party 6, 7, and a few karaoke games if you're that weird one in the room. This would be entered in memory card slot B since the other one is already occupied. This is mainly for games that require you to talk so you could feel like you're in the game. Just a simple karaoke machine and you have your own karaoke set in your household. Maybe not that. It doesn't even help when the person using it screams fire or laser or blow so goddamn loud. It's just an ordinary microphone. Nothing special about it. Now those were the first party accessories. There are other third party companies that want to sprinkle a little spice to the enchiladas. Man, I said a little. So this Antex portable speaker that connects to the side of the GameCube. It also has a portable screen sold separately. I guess this is the better way to make your GameCube scream at you. Yes, Antec got way overboard with these accessories, but it's good to look at whenever you need some comedy in your life. Those were the GameCube accessories. I remember most of these stuff because I had friends or acquaintances owning the GameCube with these accessories laying around their room. Whether it's going with my dad to work on a house and them owning a GameCube with the Waver controller and a set of Donkey Kong bongos, or going to my cousin's family friend's house and them owning a GameCube with the Gameboy Link adapter. As a kid, I'm just that person who is so intrigued looking at these and begged my parents to buy me one. Eventually I did, but it's not until later on its life where it started to die down because of the next console that's going to be released at the end of that year. Now since I own these today, I can always show my fellow sailors that I grew up with these and have a blast playing Super Monkey Ball too. Man, I hate calling myself a sailor. Even though the GameCube didn't do too well, I'm saying this again, it was a unique console. The expandability is what made the GameCube more unique in a certain way. Just being able to use the compatibilities with the Game Boy Advance, I will always scream in excitement. With all these accessories laying around, why not just try playing Smash Bros with it? I'll just start out with the Donkey Kong Bongos. What?